Namaskar. Welcome to Hamska Academy. Today we are going to discuss grade 10 topic, the interwar economy. This is a third subtopic in making of the global world. Third subtopic, the interwar economy. During the war years, how was the economy? That is the point what we are going to discuss. The First World War, 1914 to 1918, was fought mainly in Europe. Its impact was felt all around the world. Though it was fought mainly in Europe, the impact was felt all around the world. Notably, for our concerns in this chapter, we are going to discuss the first half of the 20th century into a crisis that took over 3 decades, means more than 30 years to overcome. During this period, the world experienced widespread economic and political instability and another catastrophic war. So during the World War I, what are the problems? How did the world enter into crisis? After that, how the political instability was there and how another war happened and how did the world recover from that. So those are the points which we are going to concentrate in this video. The wartime 3.1, wartime transformations. First World War, as we all know, was fought between two groups or two blocks, the Allied powers and the Axis powers. The Allied powers are Britain, France, Russia, and later joined by US. On the opposite side, we have the Axis powers or the Central powers, Germany, Austria, Hungary, and the Ottoman Turkey. These are the two blocks who fought the World War I. When the war began in 1914, many governments during that time thought it would be ended by Christmas. It would end by Christmas, means hardly 6 to 8 months. But it lasted for 4 years. So the powers which fought the World War I are Allies versus the Central powers. In the Allies group, we have Britain, France, Russia, and later joined by US, while on the Central power side, we have Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Ottoman Turkey. Initially, they thought the war would end in 6 to 8 months, the coming Christmas. But it lasted for more than 4 years. The First World War was a war like no other war before, because the fighting involved the world's leading industrial nations, which now harness the vast power of modern industry to inflict the great possible destruction on their enemies. So all the participants of the World War I are involved in industrialization. So they had huge industries and they produced large amounts. For example, if you see the First World War industry, what we can see is the machine guns were there, tankers were there, aircrafts, chemical weapons, all were produced in massive scale, which is an example of large scale industries were existing during that period of time. To fight the war, they had millions of soldiers. They recruited millions of soldiers from around the world and moved to the frontiers of the large ships, the front lines and trains. They have large frontline ships and trains. The scale of death, if you look at the scale of death and destruction, there are 9 million dead and 20 million injured, which was unthinkable according to the statistics of that period. So industrialization has increased the production. They are able to produce anything on large scale to an extent where They have many colonies, so they were able to recruit many soldiers also, and they went on to the front lines of the battles. Most of the killed main were men of working age. Main people who were killed were the men of working age. The deaths and the injuries reduced the able-bodied workforce in Europe, because many people died and many got injured. Most of them are from the working age, that is from 15 to 59. So the people who are able to work got injured, so it affected the workforce in Europe. With fewer members within the family, household incomes also got declined. The situation after the war. So during the war, the industries were restructured to produce war-related goods. Now, why we are saying industrialization has increased or made it a massive scale war? Because during the war time, the industries were restructured in such a way that they produce war-related goods. They produce war-related goods. Entire societies were also reorganized for supplying of war, as men were sent to battle. Women stepped out to undertake the jobs for that earlier period. Well, before that, before the wars, only men used to do works. But now, due to war, men are going to fight the wars. So women also stepped out of their homes and they started to undertake certain odd jobs and feed the families. So these are few changes which have come after the war. The war led to the snapping of economic links between some of the world's largest economic powers, which were now fighting each other to pay for them. Britain borrowed large sums of money from the US banks as well as the US public. Thus, the war transformed US from being an international debtor to an international creditor. So due to this war, Britain started to borrow large amounts of money from US banks and also from US public citizens. So because of this act, US became to be as an international creditor from debitor. Earlier it used to take money, now it is giving credit to other countries. In other words, at the war's end, by the time war ended, the US and its citizens owned more overseas assets than foreign governments and citizens owned in the US. So US and its citizens started to make a lot of money and started to acquire many foreign assets when compared to even foreign governments which are ruling on the other side. But US emerged as an international creditor after the World War I.